Hey, Northwood Church, this is Matt, and we are on the eve of one of the biggest moments in the life of Northwood Church. This weekend, we're going to pray together and ask God to do something so huge in our church that those around us would be orphans no more. It's going to take sacrifice on our behalf. It's going to take service on our behalf. It's going to take generosity on our behalf. And as I think about this whole idea of generosity, it's going to be on Sunday night that we come together and we ask God to do big things, but then we bring our commitment. And as you're praying about what your commitment is going to be to Orphans No More, I want to tell you a story. It was back in 2015 that a man by the name of Steve Jobs passed away. I don't know if you know who Steve is, but he was the founder of Apple. I mean, the iPhone you carry, the Apple Watch you wear, all those things, those thoughts, those dreams, those ideas, those originated out of the brain of Steve Jobs. In 2015, pancreatic cancer took him away. On his deathbed, he made this statement, and I want to read it to you. However, aside from work, I have little joy. In the end, my wealth is only a fact of life that I've become accustomed to. At this moment, lying on my bed and recalling my life, I realize that the recognition and wealth that I took so much pride in have paled and become meaningless in the face of my death. What he was saying is what we as Christians already understand. Do not store up yourself treasures on earth where moths and rust can destroy, but store up your treasure in heaven where moths and rust can't destroy and where thieves can't break in and steal. And what was Jesus trying to say with that statement? It was this: everything we own here is gonna burn. There's gonna be a moment where we're gonna meet Jesus, and everything that we hold so closely here on this planet is not gonna be ours anymore. And that was the cruel fact that Steve Jobs came to the realization of. Now in life, there's gonna be people that still hold on to those things, but as Christians, we shouldn't. We should be those people that because we know it's not really ours and that we're just stewards of it, we would use it for the greatest glory of God because He's our Father who adopted us and made us orphans no more. In these next couple weeks, we're gonna have to be an extremely generous church. We've got some huge dreams of what we think God wants to accomplish. And I need you to be praying and saying, hey God, you know the resources you've given our family? How can we best use it for your glory? In your book you got a few weeks ago, it came with a commitment card that looks a little bit like this. And if you open up that commitment card, you will find a worksheet, if you will, that I want to challenge you and your spouse before the 24th, which is this Sunday night, to sit down, pray about, and fill out. When you open up your commitment card, here's what you're going to find. A bunch of different white boxes. The first white box is going to ask you a simple question. What do we normally give in a given year? As God has blessed us, how are we giving back to the church? And I want to challenge you, write that down. In the second box, it's going to ask you this question. What is our ability to expand our giving that we can give during Orphans No More? In other words, God wants to do some amazing things here. And so how is He going to use the Barding family to expand our generosity to see that happen? Right below that, you'll see where you take those two numbers and you add them together. Now remember, this is how much you're going to give per year, and then you're going to times that by 2 years because it's a 2-year initiative. Now, after you filled that out, it's going to ask you a very specific question that for me and my wife, we never thought about. And here's that question. What are my stored resources? In other words, what is financial gain that I have that I don't normally think about? For me, it's baseball cards because I buy and sell baseball cards and I have some valuable ones. And my wife and I have had the conversation about, do I sell some so that I can give to Orphans No More? Because what's cardboard really in the life of somebody knowing Jesus or not knowing Jesus? Where we landed was we have a rental property that we rent out to one of our relatives. And the money that they give us over the next 2 years, we're gonna take that money and we're gonna put it towards Orphans No More. It's our opportunity to take a creative way to add to what we're already giving and give. So I would challenge you, what has God blessed you with? Is there a boat you don't want anymore? Is there a baseball card collection like I had that God's calling you to let go of? Do you have like some stock options that you want to donate to the church or some land? I want to challenge you to be creative. And you may go, well, Matt, why? Here's why. Because all these things God gave you, He gave you as a resource to use for His glory, not for you to accumulate wealth. That is not it. Because if all we do is accumulate wealth, we're Steve Jobs, and we're gonna get to the end of our life and we're gonna go, what was that all about anyway? So my challenge to our church is this, that over the next couple weeks, we become so generous that we would accomplish things that nobody thought a church in Lincoln County could accomplish. And we reach people who are orphans and we make them orphans no more. Finally, I want you to do this. I want you to take what you normally give, plus what you guys have put together as your expanded gift, plus what you find as a stored resource. And in this orange box, I want you to say, hey, this is our family's commitment for the next 2 years. And after you fill that out, then I want you to write your name and your phone number, and I want you to bring this on Sunday night. We're gonna have a time of prayer. We're gonna have a time of worship. And when those times of worship are done, we're gonna go out and we're gonna stand in the very place where God's gonna build a new auditorium at our church. We're gonna write people's names on the ground that need Jesus. Because this is not an initiative to gain money. This is an initiative to make orphans no more. And when we're done, we're gonna come back inside and we're gonna have a time of celebration. Now, during that celebration, we're gonna have like refreshments and things that you can get an opportunity to get something to eat and hang out with some friends. But I would encourage you in this, if you got time on the front end, we're gonna open doors at 4:30. At 4:30, we're gonna have food trucks in the parking lot. We're gonna have different things that you can come and you can eat and you can hang out with people that you love and you know. We'll have activity things for your children to do while they're here throughout the night, so you don't have to be afraid to bring your kids. It's gonna be an awesome night. And it's not just a night where we get together and have some more fun. We are coming together with a very precise reason: to make orphans no more. God has this desire to use us, to go out to people who have a hole in their life and fill that hole in a way that would make them different for eternity. And you gotta be here because God wants to use North Road in a supernatural way. I'll see you then.